Switch of South Africa in proud association with Change Cars. Change Cars is a trusted online website because they work with trusted dealers and the best insure in South Africa, Discovery Insure. Welcome back to Switch of South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, and today you guys join me inside the Mitsubishi Outlander. A very good looking vehicle from certain angles, but we'll speak about the exterior of the vehicle and the interior of the vehicle and cost of ownership and all of that. And if you are on the tell you is that there's merchandise out right now. Check my post on the YouTube page, place in your orders, and as Mr. Hamash would say, support local YouTube. But I'm gonna tell you every single thing you need to know about this car. Let's get it. So firstly, we need to speak about the exterior of the vehicle. And I personally am a fan of the exterior of the vehicle. The front is where I am stuck between two rocks, a rock and a hard place. I like it, but at the same time I don't like it. My party piece of this thing is essentially how it looks on the side profile, and the rear end of this vehicle looks very beautiful. It reminds me so much of the Grand Cherokee L that I had on test last year. So I don't know if it's just me seeing it, but hopefully you guys are seeing it as well, so that that's how I can say I'm not delusional. But I do like the look of the car. As you can see on the videos, that it's long meaning the 7 seats jumping into the interior of the vehicle. The car is a 7-seater, so it's family friendly. It's a car that as a person looking to buy, you're looking for family friendly vehicle, and the Mitsubishi Outlander does that for you. Interior, it's not, because this is the entry level, so there's two models. There's a GLS and there's a Aspire. So the GLS, the one I'm currently in, basic in terms of there's no flashy things inside. There's no things that's gonna wow you when you get inside the vehicle. But you do get a nice digital instrument cluster. You get a smaller screen infotainment system in the middle of the car there, but the top of the range gets a bigger one. I'm yet to see how it looks on that, but it's simple things. They've kept it simple. The climate control buttons are down below. They've kept everything where you need to be. So this car, in terms of interior, does tend to look like the Nissan Qashqai in certain parts. Certain parts being the gear lever, the handbrake, and the buttons, the multi-control system of the steering wheel. So the buttons on the steering wheel. So that screams Nissan, but we can forgive it. So the rear space, honestly, this car, I'd rather sit at the back of this vehicle. The second row of seats is a good place to be, very spacious. The seats feel good as well, from the rear to the front to the third row of seats. The rear feel good, so I like that about the car. I appreciate the feeling of the vehicle. What I like about the car in terms of the whole, it's a nice car. It's a family oriented vehicle. You're gonna enjoy being in the interior of the vehicle. So that's something I really do like about the car. But now let's speak about the features this one has, and for that I need to stop because it's a long list and I want to read it out to you. So moving on to the features that this car has, and it's a long list, so I need to read it out for you, and then I'm going to read out the top of the range. Top of the range just has a few extra features, and yeah. So starting off, the car comes with 7 airbags, ABS, hill start assist, hill descent control. You get LED lights in front, LED fog lights, daytime running lights, auto headlights, keyless entry and keyless start. You get active stability control plus traction control. You get front and rear parking distance control. You get front rain sensing wipers. You get a 60-40 split rear seats with flat folding function, 1 touch rear row seat folding lever, 4-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel. So that's the steering wheel I was telling you that it shares certain parts with the Nissan. And above that, you get an 8-inch infotainment system. You get a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. I spoke about it earlier. Then you get a remote tailgate lift, so you don't have to physically open the boot yourself. That's power. And you get a 6-speaker sound system with tweeters. It's decent enough, nothing amazing, and you get 3-zone climate control. So the difference between this and the top of the range, which costs 30,000 more, is literally 4 things. 4 things meaning a reverse auto tilt door mirrors. So when you put the car in reverse, the side mirrors tilt down so you can see on the floor. You get a power sliding panoramic sunroof. So wish this had that, but this doesn't have that. And then you get a bigger infotainment system. So instead of a 8-inch, you get a 9-inch. So that's not really that big, but I'd like to still see how it looks. And then you get 8-way power adjustable leather seats with power lumbar support and memory function on the driver's side only, not on the passenger side. So driver side only. Just like in this vehicle, my seat is electric for the driver, but for the passenger it's not. I don't get why it's doing that. Like, I think it needs to be what you do on the right, you should do on the left. Simple maths. If you know, you know. So let's speak about the drive of the vehicle, summing it up with cost of ownership and the things I like, the things I don't like, and then say voila. So the driving impressions, my driving impressions for this vehicle. You know, honestly, see the way I'm driving right now. Those cars perfect for that. City run around, driving slowly is perfect. The problem comes when you get onto the highway or you want to overtake. And let me explain why. Those cars powered by 2.5 liter naturally aspirated engine producing 135 kilowatts and 245 newton meters of torque through a CVT gearbox. And if you're new on the channel, I don't like CVT gearboxes. If you're not new on the channel, you know my gripe with CVT gearboxes. So the power is not there. Foot down. That's to show you in terms of the lack of power. I'll elaborate more on that, and the CVT gearbox. Like and those car doesn't make much noise because obviously we play music, so you won't hear it, but you will feel it. And I did feel it a lot. So the car's fine for day-to-day driving, casual driving, it's fine. But when you get into the highway, that's where you get to miss, or you get to want something more in terms of more power. A turbo would have sufficed for me in this vehicle, because getting to speed takes some time. But when you get to speed, obviously you are fine, but getting to speed takes some time, and I personally don't like that about this vehicle. And even when you, for example, if you're doing 100 kilometers per hour on a two-way or one-way, for example, and yeah, two-way, one way that way, one way the other way, and you want to overtake, you need to calculate properly, because you put your foot down and the car won't go as quickly as you would think, or as quickly as you want it to go. So that's my gripe with this vehicle, in terms of the engine that's in here, the power delivery that's in this vehicle. And because the 2.5 liter vehicle, no turbo, CVT gearbox does bring a lot of the fuel consumption down. In terms, CVT gearboxes are quite good in terms of fuel efficiency. So being a 2.5 liter in any other car, this car would be sipping. But here I've been averaging 9.8 as I'm currently doing right now. That's one. My best fuel consumption I've received as a 7.1. But the other thing comes into the amount of kilometers you can do on a tank. So I've currently done 350. My range is telling me 203. So it's that thing where we are around 600 Ks. That's fine. It's enough for a trip. And obviously on a trip it will give you longer, but I've told you about the drive of the vehicle. And in terms of stability, in terms of road imperfections, how does it handle? It feels good. Like, it feels good. As much as the wheels look so good from the outside, you think that it'll be a bit bumpy. It's not bumpy, it's fine. The steering wheel feels good as well. It's not full leather, it's part leather. There's what I can't say what it is on the side, but you guys should be seeing it. It feels good to hold. So now moving on to the things I don't like about the car and the things I like about the car. And this side we always start with the bad. The first thing I don't like about the car is the engine. That's one. The engine and the power and the lack of power. That's the first thing I don't like about this vehicle. The second thing I don't like about this vehicle is that this vehicle has auto hold. That's a good thing. But the auto hold always disengages when you switch off the car. Pun not intended. So all the time when you switch off the car, pun not intended, the auto hold will switch off. Pun not intended. So in other vehicles, once you switch on the auto hold button, even if you switch the car off for 500 days and you come back into that vehicle, the vehicle will remember you had the auto hold thing switched off, pun not intended. So in this vehicle, you need to switch it on every single time you get into the vehicle. I don't like that. There's a second thing I don't like, and the third thing I don't like is with regards to the infotainment system. I've had this car for a couple of days. It has a USB Type-C port and a USB Type-A port, but I've been using a cable and I've the Apple CarPlay has yet to hook, so I think I need to be using a USB-A. So it's that thing we're trying to figure out, how easy is it to activate Apple CarPlay in this vehicle. It's not easy. So that's the third thing I like about the car. Moving on to the good. Enough bad, time for the good. So with regards to the good things about this vehicle, what do I like about this vehicle? One, I just like being in it. The seats feel good. Driving this car the way I'm driving it now feels good. That's one. Two, I like the look on the side profile of the vehicle. The look from the rear, the side profile of the vehicle. There's the second thing I like. The third thing I like, it has to be the wheels this car's sitting on, man. Those wheels look beautiful, and it goes well with this color. And I believe in any other car, if there's like a red or a blue, it'll stand out. I'm sure there is, but the wheels on this car look amazing. I like the look of the vehicle, and the car is also quite spacious. You have 7 seats. What more could you ask for? Time to speak about cost of ownership, and then we wrap it up. So if you buy this vehicle, right, no deposit, you're financing it over a period of 5 years at an interest rate of 12.25%. This specific one that I'm in, that goes for 730,000 rand, you're looking to pay 16,891,000 rand monthly just for the vehicle. The full tank on this car has a 55 liter fuel tank. So if you put the fuel tank, is essentially 1,250, so round it up, let's say 1,300 over a month without insurance. And let's just say you're going to use that one tank that month. Cost of ownership for this vehicle, you're looking at 18,200 rand. What that means, it's up to you guys. If you guys are willing to pay that amount of money, you can pay it. If you're not, you're not. But I've told you everything you need to know about this vehicle. 3 important questions. Do I like the car? Would I buy the car? Would I recommend the car? 1, do I like the car? Yes, I do. 2, would I buy the car? No, I would not. 3, would I recommend the car? 100%. I would recommend the car, but I'd also tell you to look elsewhere for that amount of money. That amount of money, you're starting to play around the territories of like the new Ford Everest XLT. You're playing around that territory, but I feel like a person that's looking for Ford and the person for the Everest and the person that's looking for an Outlander, 2 different people. You squeeze in the Fortuner into the mix, 2 different people. So it all boils down to the type of person you are. And yeah, that's my review of the Mitsubishi Outlander. I hope you guys liked the content, and I will see you on the next one. Should be interesting. What's the next one? I'm not sure, but I do know what the next one is. I'm just not gonna tell you. But yeah, stick to my socials. You will see the car in the next few days.